What's going on, Jiva? This is Mark Anthony here. Mark my words, 28 minutes late. Pretty much as usual. Sorry about that. You guys are I'm gonna be on the phone tonight. I'm having some laptop issues again. I might be bringing a few people on here tonight. We'll see. But I want to dive kind of right in. Let's go. Let's talk about week 3. I'm going to bring up the... To me, it's been a little bit... I don't think it's as surprising as some people might think. But let's just talk about first and foremost that Cyclones Tomahawks game. I want to start there by just saying that the Cyclones are just so consistent. I have not seen a team for such a long period of time be able to consistently have... Let me see who's watching. The ability for that offense to stay number one. It's been the best offense every year since probably 13, maybe 14, maybe. But they've just been able to stay super consistent. The pieces haven't changed much. A few different odds and ends. But you add a player like Matt Weiss, Trey Gilchrist, leaves and comes back. You got Ireland back. You have all these pieces that know what they're doing. But when I watch them play football, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who's in what position because they're coached the same way. I watch the receivers blocking downfield. I watch the linemen are just playing at a level where it's almost like they know, and Contento's been like this his entire career, but to see the entire O-line play at a level where everybody's on the same page week after week, I just think for me it's we all should be privileged to continue to be able to watch this. I look forward to seeing what the end result is this season. They obviously haven't hit the mark the last 2 years, but I don't think that makes a difference. I think the motivation is higher than it's ever been, regardless of if they would have won last year or not. I don't think losing to the Comanche have added to any fuel to the fire. I think that was already there when they lost to the Hitmen. So I think I'm looking forward to how they finish out. Losing, beating the Vikings by 10 or so, beating the Tomahawks by 10. To me, it's the Comanche and the Vikings and the teams that were at the top last year, minus the Cyclones, I feel are still all clumped together, all have the ability to beat each other, and the Cyclones are just an edge above. I still think that any team has the ability to beat the Cyclones this year. I don't think that Cyclones are going to run through the good teams like they have in the past. But I do going to think they're going to stay consistent. I'm reminded to not bet against them every time I look at my, but for me, I think I want to make sure that we get the best opportunity on both sides. Mountain and Valley. I know with the playoff situation, I think we're going to get that regardless. I'm excited to see what happens. But they're at the top of the league still. The Tomahawks came in and gave a good fight. LaShawn, I think him being back again, I've driven it home. I think he's going to be, gives them a reason, the Tomahawks a reason to be excited for the future. With the Cyclones, they're just going to keep it up. Defensively, they're consistent. They don't break. They're making plays when they have to make them. You know, I have nothing bad to say, but let's see what happens. I think, you know, watching them play the Warriors, watching them play, I think the Buffaloes later this year, those are going to be some big games that I'm excited to see, but I still think at the end of the day, they're going to just, you know, they're going to edge all these teams out, and it comes down to playoffs, but I'm looking forward to that. So for the Cyclones, you know, that's kind of where my head is. This second game, that Mustangs-Bolts game, can't say too much. It is the Bolts, but I think that you're seeing a Mustangs team that's going to be a little bit different than even maybe week one. So I think hats off to them for the ability to not just have a successful week one, a good week two, but I don't think they're not satisfied. They're not going to stop figuring out a way to keep building and keep growing. I do think the leadership over there has been fantastic. Let me see here if I can get the leadership of the Mustangs. I think is the big difference. I think defensively, I said it earlier, but I think that they have the opportunity to be the best defense in the league. And it just feels like they can carry that motivation and that attitude and that grit into every single game. I think they're doing it with the right mindset. They're doing it with the team mentality. And I think that the Mustangs are going to be, I am very, very, very excited this week. Mustangs, Warriors, I think is going to be a huge, huge game. And we're really going to see where both teams are. That goes right into the Spartans-Warriors game. You know, I think the Warriors, they're intriguing to me. I think they've come up big early. They've played their offense and their ability to have the talent on the field, make plays, be explosive, have high energy, has been there before. I said this to Dre on just the other day, Dre Moses, that, you know, I hope to see consistency throughout, meaning when they lose, because I do think they're going to lose at some point, not this week maybe, but I do think they're going to lose. How do they hold up to that? You know, I think I've seen the Wildcats, and I think that they remind me of the Warriors. You know, where it's like the talent's there, but are they going to keep it together? And so I feel like the Warriors, to me, I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm getting until I see them lose a game, get punched in the mouth, you know, take one on the chin, and be able to keep going. So Warriors are up in the air. I think that's going to be, let's see. I think that's going to be the one.
What's up?
What's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
You're a little low. Let me see here. That just might be me. Try again.
Is that any better?
Yeah, if you guys can hear, let me know. If they can hear you, fine. It might be just me, my phone.
All right.
I'm all plugged up. What's going on?
What's going
on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Another day in paradise. How's everything?
Good. How was this first week with the Raptors?
It was interesting, to say the least. Started out real well. Started real well. Just started steam run for a second. Really didn't get, I guess, much going because we were trying to have like a few people getting acclimated to their system after the disbandment of the Savages. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, really. Yeah.
I mean, it was nice to see all those points.
I mean, we really didn't put up that much. We should have definitely put up more. Again, it mainly came down to just a few of us trying to get acclimated to their system in mid game process. So,
Do you how do you feel like the attitude, the mindset is over there?
it's to me personally, it's aggressive. They're hungry, like we all are. Everybody that's in the sport. But it like their attitude for it is just hungry. It's not like negative aggressive, but like they want it. They want it more for themselves. You know what I mean?
You feel like they're going to be because my big thing was I really was excited the first time they were here in the league, and I really hope they stick around. Do you feel like that's going to be the case? They're gonna be here to stay.
Um, I can't speak so much into the future, especially for the fact that I just came over. So I really can't say much for that, but I would definitely bank on just seeing how the rest of this season goes, and if I mean if we do well going through the rest of the season, I don't see why we wouldn't stay to go for another fight. You know, it wouldn't make sense to come in, chip, and then leave.
I think I think that area there. I think they could. I mean, they have so much that they can do both like they were gonna anyway. I really think they can do that. So hopefully they do.
I mean,
What do you,
I guess it'll depend on the majority of the bodies that we get. Yeah, to go both ways.
right? I'm looking forward to it. What about? I mean, you got a chance to play in this league for a couple of years. Where week 3 into this season, like where are you feeling like everything is? Are you surprised by stuff so far?
Um, for the only thing that I'm honestly surprised about is the bolts and everything. I kind of had a feeling that that the Mustangs were going to end up picking up. They're doing extremely well. Um, as far as the other teams in the league, like they're just the team. MOBA is MOBA, you know. Spartans are the Spartans. I've seen a few things where like it's just a lot of miscues over there as well. The Warriors are the Warriors. I mean, there's not much you could say from that. So aside from the Mustangs' major come up and the Bolts' lack of everything, that's really the only things, honestly.
I don't want to. Man, I am not surprised by the Bolts. I hate that I say that, and I like Boozy, and I want them to succeed, but I've seen that same thing over and again. I think they're only looking this bad because the talent in the league in the last 5 years has gotten so much better.
Yeah,
that now
definitely.
they're playing, even when they're playing teams that are like if they're playing the Spartans, they're still going to get beat up. I think.
Yeah, I don't think in the minors even like I like so I was just in another
When is that
conversation.
game? Is that do they play?
I don't know. I hope they do though, because
That would be great.
yeah, that would probably be like the what do you call that the toilet bowl.
I don't see. Oh, they do April 29th. Oh my
Oh,
god.
nice.
So like the minors, I don't know enough about, but I just felt like I said, and that area, the area Boozy's always trying to get up in Berwick is great. I really wish that area could get successful too, but
Well, he's gonna have to go through what the Mustangs went through, honestly, in like in order to build up the like that to that stature. He's gonna have to take his L's right now, and hopefully the guys that are with him understand that and are there for more than just their playing time, are there for the team to help him grow, you know, as as an owner, as a team organization out there, because like, as you're saying, like he could have a great, he could have some great pieces that come to him. It's just the fact of, is he willing to stick around for another season and take these L's all this year, and hopefully his word is good enough to these guys, letting them know, like, look, we're having a bad season. We just have to keep our heads up and keep on, keep this team rolling forward, no matter how you want to look at it.
I think they can. I don't know if they will, but I do think that I think there's enough, as long as you're willing to. I think everybody, and the Mustangs did this. You have to be willing to not necessarily go ask for help, but you can't do this shit alone. Like, find football people and stop trying to do everything, or stop trying to do more than you know what I mean? Like, I think everyone needs to figure out their roles, and that's a whole thing. But when it comes to ownership and coaching, right? Like Billy needed to get the I think he needed the McNultys, and not just the McNultys specifically, but he needed football people that were going to help him recruit, that were going to get guys in the building, that were going to get people want to work, their energy good. Like they've always done that for consistently. So I think Billy deciding that I'm not going to just hire people I know, or my buddy's going to be the coach, or yada yada. That may work, and you might be lucky, but usually really just gotta. It's about the football. And I think the Cyclones built a family, but they weren't a family. Like, the family's built on the idea that you're going to come out there every day and work your ass off for each other, right? So that is built on football. That is built on the idea that they don't, Medina wasn't a quarterback. He was an athletic dude that they gave him a shot, and the dude rolled with it like he is the greatest of all time. But it's only in the idea that, you know what I mean? Like, Brent trusted him, and he trusted his guys, and he brings guys in that he trusts not to do it all himself, and he probably could do more. Like, it's crazy to say that he throws 70 touchdowns and he could do more, but he could probably be greedy and do more. And it's like, the ability to be so successful and not be greedy is really, that's an admiration that I think the Mustangs have found the ability to work together. And I do hope the Bolts, I hope the Bolts find something like that.
Yeah, I mean, overall, when we're talking about the Mustangs, Billy was just missing certain pieces. That's all. That's all it really was. He's had that mindset since day one, that this is about football and about the family of football, and having a good time, having fun while we're trying to win, and he just stayed persistent to it. That's all it really comes down to it. He could have folded a million times over, and like just to see him and watch him stick it out, and now having this powerhouse, if you will, especially with his defense. I'm pleased, and I'm excited to see where their season's gonna go this year. Honestly, as for the Bolts, they gotta stick around. They have to bite the bullet right now. They have to get into these Zooms, have some practices throughout the week, and like just talk it out and not give up. They can't give up.
With the Mustangs, staying on them, do you think it's crazy? Because I don't know why, but I see it. And I don't know the numbers, and I'm not gonna. But they let the Vikings score 22, right? Mm-hmm. You can say whatever you want about that, okay? If the offense had it together in terms of like just normalcy, snap, hand the ball off, don't fumble. It was a sloppy day, I guess. But that defense had the Vikings in a tough spot three times.
On week one, bro.
3 times. And I'm telling you that put it this way, if the Mustangs have this offense with the pieces they have right this second, I bet you they win week 1. And that's not to shit on the Vikings at all. I just think that the Mustang, there's tiers in this league to me, and I still think that because I have this stupid tattoo on my leg and I've had to eat it over and over, I'm going to say that the Cyclones are sitting by themselves at the top, only because of the fact that they've consistently beat everybody. I still think they're always just a little bit better, and until the playoffs come, I'm going to stay with that. But,
so I'm gonna have you recant your statement. So I remember week 1 when we were having a conversation, you had Mova at number 1 for the season.
Yeah.
And now you're reverting to back to the Cyclones being number 1. What changed within the last 2 weeks to make you change your mind to say that the Cyclones are back at number 1 for you?
Medina's
Medina is Medina, though.
I know. I think it's just their defense. No matter what you can say, if you can make plays when you have to make plays, which is what they've been doing, then that's good. And I was never. I felt like I was giving the Vikings that credit because of what they've done, and I still think that the Vikings. I mean, I think the Comanche, to be honest with you, in my heart of hearts, have dropped down maybe, but like the Vikings are right behind the Cyclones. But if I had a bet on a team right now, I just have to go them every time now until. And I wasn't even week 0 when I was sort of shitting on their defense a little bit, even though they beat it by 75 or whatever. I think with that, it was more for me to say, all right, well, when these teams are playing each other, because they play the Vikings well, they play the Tomahawks well. I think they're going to play every good team like they played those two teams. I think they beat the Warriors by a little. I think they beat the Buffaloes by a little. I think they beat
the Cyclones or
Cyclones. I think the Cyclones. I think they play the Buffaloes. I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be a really good game. I think. Let me see. Do they play them? That'd be a crossover game. But I think
if that's a crossover game, that's gonna be game of the week for 1, and then for 2, I mean.
Maybe.
The only thing that the Cyclones are gonna have to do is stop their whole backfield run game that they have going on.
I'm completely wrong. I'm completely wrong. There is no crossover after. I guess they're all done. So if we see them, they won't see them until the playoffs because now the seeding's, right across the board. There's no. So I just think, like I said, I don't. Even the Warriors. The Warriors have been
dominating.
Yeah, but I've seen
like putting on the pressure. Like I understand that, like, certain teams aren't for certain people, but like the whole dog mentality behind the Warriors is really what's giving them that push this year.
If when do they play the see, I really should just. Who do they play this week? No, yeah, the Spartans. No, that was last week. Where am I at here? I can't find it.
Where do you post the schedule at?
It's on GEFA360.com. It's just hard on it's hard on a mobile device to see stuff.
Yeah, hold on.
So I have to get on the laptop. So the Warriors Mustangs game to me, like that's big because I think. All right, let me ask you, who wins that game to you?
Which one?
Who wins Warriors Mustangs this week?
Warriors. I'm looking at it now. Oh man. Oh, that's gonna be a good game, bro.
That's where I'm going. I mean, I'll be in Hazleton.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I think the Hazleton defense can be the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
And it's like I got off a tangent when I was talking about the Vikings, but they held them to 22. I like when the Mustangs play the Warriors, right? Let's just say this. Let's say they hold them to under 30. and let's say they hold them under 30, but they lose 28, 23, whatever. They lose by a touchdown, but they, again, it's close and they hold that. That defense, that's tough. The Vikings, I'll give it because of the week one and the sloppiness, I'm going to let that pass, but I do see them being able to be that. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, so if it's nice weather the way it's supposed to be, and it's at home, the Warriors are gonna have to travel well for one. They're going to have to travel well if they want to win
It's in
this
drums. They're really close. It's
okay,
not like,
but either which way. So like in this league, it's something else that I noticed. Jiva away games, we don't ever travel well.
Right.
Not a single team travels well ever. So that's definitely gonna be a number one. Like they're gonna have to show up. If the Warriors do not show up, then the Mustangs are I definitely feel like they'll come out with they'll come out on top with at least a touchdown or two. It's mainly because of their defense, bro. Like I'm really I'm putting Mustangs defense at least like number one, number two.
I agree. And again, the only other team right now, like, you know, I think, again, the Cyclones are up there because they're going to be consistently keeping teams under, and the Warriors have put that number there. But, like, that's why I was saying, like, even if you want to push the Cyclones down with the grouping at the top of the league, I mean, Buffalo, to me, like all these teams are in the same tier. Buffaloes, Wildcats, Comanche, Tomahawks, Vikings, Warriors, Mustangs. I mean, I got to see more from you guys yet, but, you know, and then the Cyclones. Like, right, that's 70% of the league.
I would say the Wildcats out of all these teams is the most well balanced team. Offense and defense is doing symmetrically pretty well. It's the Buffalo's offense, 1000%. Their offense is nice. Their defense is okay, but their offense is
right.
Is something that's fucking top notch. Coming down the list, the Comanche are. I mean, they're messing themselves up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like miscues and whatnot. It's like they're doing it to themselves. It's little shit that they're doing to themselves. The Vikings are pretty well rounded as well. It's the Mustangs defense right now, but their offense is also clicking. They are doing work there. The Warriors are another offense and defense is pretty well rounded. Their defense could definitely be a little better though. Definitely. Skyhawks, I don't even know what the hell's going on over there. I don't.
Right. Same.
And then the Cyclones are the Cyclones, bro. It's their offense right now. Their defense has always held up to the point of like they've played goal line on teams. Like they played full games on the goal line just because, you know, like ran that cover 2, cover 3 just to let them get down the field and then just play with them on the line. The Cyclones are something. Just what the fuck? Well, what the you know what I mean?
Right. Well, and I think it's the consistency of, because the offense is so meshed well and they've been doing it together so long, and then you add, you know, a Flem and then a Wise and a guys that are just being able to plug in and do it really well. That's fantastic. And then again, the defense is, you know, George doing his job. All the defensive. Their job is to make sure that no team, when the Cyclones score 30, they should win those games, and that's it. And if in this league, if you're one of the best teams, your offense has got to score 30 on a good team, and your defense has got to be able to. And if you lose, and like I said, the Cyclone, the Comanche, the Vikings, these teams have lost games to the Cyclones where they. You know, they should have beat them, but they didn't. And it's just and at the end of the day, they seem to do that all the time. And
And if Medina's not hurt last year, I don't know. I know talking to Monk going into that week last time, he knew what he was going with. He knew what Medina was dealing with. Somehow, some way, he knew he was going to go after him and make sure that he figured out a way to use it to his advantage. And whether or not that's the X factor last year, I don't know. But you dial back to the year before, and that's down to the wire.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where I felt like it was over, and I just feel like I might have miscued it by 3 plays or something, right? Where instead of it being over, Medina's hurt last year, and they make 2 less plays the year before. The Hitmen make 1 more, and then I'm like, all right, well, you're cycling. I mean, Contento retires and unretires, retires and unretires. Ireland goes away and comes back. You cycle those through. Your receiving core doesn't really stay, but I'm not saying these guys are out of shape, but they're not. They're not all making sure that they're in the. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because every day when they go to work on Saturday, in the off season, they were still doing it. And I heard this year it was different a little bit because they weren't maybe getting the numbers that they had, but Medina and the other guys that I had talked to had said the mentality was the same. So instead of 30 going at it, it was 20, but they didn't care. And then, then 30 come for the games and you're good. So I just think that maybe I was off. It looked like it was rolling downhill, but realistically they just had 2 bumps. And now we're at a situation where they're just eight years in to this ridiculousness, and it won't stop until Medina leaves. I mean, again, because
You think so?
This will not stop. This dynasty that they have done will not stop. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win every championship, but they will consistently be one of the top 2-3 teams in the league until Medina's done. I absolutely believe that. Unless he's trying to play till he's like 47. And even then, I probably won't bet against it.
Trying to pull a Brett Favre out here.
So, yeah, and I think that, but they're good for the league. They have forced the league to say, we have got to do something else. We can't build this team and try to do this. Nobody can really capture what the Cyclones have captured over the last decade, because it's just a sort of lightning in a bottle, timing, all this stuff. Social media was coming, but the teams know now that chemistry is huge, that building a core is huge, that the camaraderie and the hanging out at the bar and doing that shit is huge. And we knew that, me and other guys and people, great guys that were, and I knew it, and I still didn't do it. I took time and I went home with my family. But I did know that the guys that were going out together and our teams that were getting good, they were getting good because they were chilling together and hanging together and building a rapport. And those guys that's how you grow it. And so, I think the Tomahawks look good now because their core is back. I think, the Mustangs have built a core. The Cyclones have their core. The Comanche's core is just trying to, like I said, I do think the Comanche are on the down tilt, but I just think it's an off year. And, I just think they're going to run into, like this week is a tough Tomahawks game. Next week is a Mustangs game. I can't imagine Monk doesn't figure out a way to make sure he doesn't lose to the Mustangs.
I don't see Comanche beating the Mustangs, honestly.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't
because the only thing that Comanche honestly have right now is a run game.
And no offense, Kasim's gonna hate me, but do they? I feel like
it doesn't. All right, it doesn't look like it. No. But they have no aerials. They have no aerial pursuit. They have no air support whatsoever. It's all on the ground.
But the reason that's the problem is, if you know that, then you don't have a run game. Because if everybody wants to stop Monk from running the ball, at the end of the day with the box and the guys, you can stop him. And I still think the guys that they have can make plays, but if they're going to not make plays, yeah, that's what I mean. And, you know, and London looked happy. Like, just, I don't know. It seemed clunkier than I'm used to seeing. And I haven't seen them in a while. I was there last week, and it just, I don't know, you know, it seems more like it's tired than anything over there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like they're running kind of dry versus how like they first came out with like the pressure of everybody. I mean, their defense is okay. I mean, it could definitely, you know, use a little bit of a boost as well. I mean, and all in all, bro, like I'm saying, the only thing that I see the Comanches honestly have is a run game. I mean,
For offense or both?
just their offense. That's all they really have going right now. They need that fire in them.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I don't know where they lost it at, but they need to find a way to get it back. That's the only thing I fucking see.
I don't know how that Buffalo's game went. I'm not sure how that went, so I don't know. I mean, just, you know, like I said, I watched it, but it's hard to get a vibe. It's hard to understand, you know, and I know they were missing their quarterback and stuff like that. So that was why last week, but like I said, even playing the Vikings, it didn't feel like a normal Vikings Comanche game last week. It didn't feel like it, even though it was close, like it just didn't feel like the Vikings led all game. I didn't feel like the Vikings were ever going to lose. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
No, I love my boys over there, but I you know, I felt like the guys that I was looking at to do their part to take the lead and it wasn't doing anything. Like the guys that should have been making plays were still making plays, and it looked like nothing else was happening, but it's because everything else wasn't going right. I don't want to say people weren't doing well, but like you said, I felt like they were hurting themselves.
Mm-hmm. To me, at the end, listen, I guess you could have won that game because when they came back, I felt like the surge was coming back. You had a big stop, and then you have that personal foul call, stupid stuff that happens that leads all the way down to a touchdown later. And to me, like, that's the stuff. Like, that stuff that's all, like, coaching and mentality and attitude. And if you can't keep your head and you're one of the best teams and a personal foul leads to you losing a big game, then that's who you are. And I think I don't want to say that that's who they will be this year, but you're
saying this is the Buffalo's Comanches game it's over, right?
No, that was week 2 that Comanche lost.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. They lost 40. It was like 40-something to 20 or 43-19.
1943.
And they didn't have their quarterback, but so I was given the benefit of the doubt going into that Vikings game, and I do think that the defensive line for the Comanche still did their job. But at the end of the day, like I said, that personal fouls comes from the D-line. That's something that no matter how much you do, if that leads to the end where it's like you almost had the comeback, well, so that's the difference. The old Comanche team would have made the comeback and at least tied it up and then made it at the end and then maybe lost. But still,
right.
It wouldn't have ended like that. And they need to get their shit together because it's that little stuff, I think. And you can blame refs. You can say, I didn't even know what the call was or if it was good or a bad call. I have no idea. All I know is it led to the end. So I don't know. I think you're right in the sense that I feel like whereas the Cyclones are always going to just beat a team, I feel like the Comanche just might lose these games this year.
Yeah.
So like this week, the Tomahawks, man, I think they can lose. I really do. I think they can lose this week. Then they have Mustangs next week.
I'm gonna say off the rip that the Comanche had the Tomahawks. I'm gonna give the Comanche benefit of that over the Tomahawks because the Tomahawks have hands. They have hands all over the place. They have some big ass bodies over there that are just putting in work. Like I'm glad that I'm not on defense going against them because their big bodies out.
Right.
Fucking the one dude got folded. What was it? 2 weeks ago or last week? You know what I mean? By the big number 12 over there. I want no sauce with those big motherfuckers that they got over there. All right. So aside from that, yeah, I mean, Comanche they have big bodies that could get across. So I'm gonna give this one to the Comanche, but I don't see them coming out over the Mustangs. I don't see them coming out over the Warriors. I don't see them coming out.
I don't know.
I can't say anything about the Comanches Raptors game.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk about that one.
Right.
And then they have a bye. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like these next 3 weeks determine so much. Like this week, you got with Comanche Tomahawks, Warriors Mustangs. Those are the games that dictate a lot. Ooh, even Buffalo's Wildcats. You got 3 games that really dictate where teams are. In my opinion, if the Wildcats lose and the Comanche lose, I think both of those teams are sort of gonna have to fight their way back in. I just don't. They're gonna beat up each other. They're gonna kind of get at it. I just don't see them getting over that.
Yeah. No, I totally. I feel the same way. If the Wildcats take this L.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Those are the two teams
that's really
that
gonna
can't
hurt
lose.
Them. Yeah.
Those 2 teams can't lose, or I feel like their season's on the downhill.
Yeah, Miners and Bolts are already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Buffaloes, the Tomahawks, the Mustangs, the Warriors, to me, they're all looking up. There's not a lot that can happen to demoralize their season other than just a plain old beatdown.
Just an upset, just one big ass upset. Not for nothing though. Not for nothing. That's exactly what happened to the Diamondbacks last year. We were steamrolling. We were doing great, and we had that one L against the Cyclones, and it was just so hard to look back from that. I felt, you know what I mean?
They do that. Yeah.
Like but we had them. Like we were in that game all the way up until the last quarter with like 10 minutes left in the game, and it was just a wrap after that,
Bro, I bet you if Medina had $1 for every time somebody said that shit to him, he would have because it's true. The Cyclones for a long time have been,
I don't even think he was in that game, bro.
He wasn't?
I don't think he was in that game.
All right, then I would judge you if you lost to Medina-less Cyclones. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do judge you if that's the case.
It was, I don't think Medina was in for that game. I mean, he might have started up. Nah, bro. No. I think the dude was wearing number 12.
How did I miss that? That was last year.
Yeah.
Yo, before we get off topic quick, do me a favor. The thing I wanted to say is just real quick, I want you to pitch. I want you to tell everybody what you do. I want you to talk to everybody about Raw Talent, please.
Yeah. So I am the CEO, founder, and owner of Raw Talent Athletics. We do customizable uniforms and also other apparel like hoodies and sweatpants and whatnot. We also are starting off with like a brand clothing as well. It's essentially any and every team that's out there trying to outfit their team and look good. I mean, Raw Talent just makes it look easy. That's it.
Listen, man, and I think one of the things for me that I love the most about this league, there are so many guys out there like yourself playing the game. That's the whole genesis of why we're all together. But then to branch out into the shit that we're doing with our real life, especially those like yourself that are trying to do it on your own things, get things started. I love it, man. So I'm rooting for you. I love everything I've seen. So.
Appreciate that, man. I really do. Thank you. And I mean, it was a struggle to start. But my 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 end goal and my aspiration to want to build this up, not just to say that, you know, I did something, but like to be able to step back and be like, I did this for the people. And that's all it's really coming down to for me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give back whatever I can with my ideal brain, you know.
Well, for me, like, this is something that I would love for you to kind of stick on with me throughout, you know, the rest of this season. You know, we'll keep talking, and I'm going to keep pushing all your stuff. And I hope, like I said, I think this can lead to things for the future for the league and everything in general. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you being on too. I really do.
Yeah, of course. Likewise, I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely love to do this with you on the on this day. Yeah, man. I mean, this could be something great going for the league. Yeah. There are a few other people out there, so we do have to pay their respects and give them a shout out as well. You know, we have a 4th and 20 out there. You know, big shout out to them. We have the guy on Friday. What's his name?
King Smith.
King Smith.
You know,
Yeah,
his fan corner is. He does some really, really. I mean, the editing, the time he has to take. I don't think people understand the amount of time it takes to do some of the stuff he's doing. So, huge shout out. I hope he keeps it up. I think it's great for the league. I think he's highlighting some of these the amazing plays, and this league has had those plays for a long, long time. So it's nice for guys to take time to highlight them. You know what I mean?
We got to do the same thing over here too.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, for me, I've been trying, man. Like, same reason I was 28 minutes late today. You know, to dive in. One of the things when I quit playing was I made sure that I was gonna commit all my time to my kids and my family. And I thought I was good. I thought I could walk away and be done. And then I just sort of kept watching and sort of kept seeing it. And people were trying to get me to coach, which I do not want to do. And,
Why?
you know, what?
Why not?
Because it's the same commitment.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
I don't want to be committed to grown-ass men who want to win. It's a commitment. And I can't look a guy in the eye and say, yeah, I'll see you on Saturday, but not be in a Zoom every night and not – like, these teams that are – like, I know what the Comanche do. So – and I don't know what the Cyclones do. I don't know if they take time during the week. I can't imagine they don't take any time. And I'm not saying all of them, but I can't imagine none of them don't study film or none of them don't chit-chat during the week. And even to me, when they're getting together, that's something. So
yeah, there's no way in hell that, like, especially the Cyclones are not in a day-to-day conversation about what they're doing for the next game.
At least some of them. Right.
Yeah.
I think Medina's talking to people every day. I mean, I think so.
Has to.
I think he does that shit in his sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, because the communication over there, especially for their newcomers, it happens so fast, bro.
Right, and it doesn't
so fast.
Even look like it looks like they were there a whole bunch of a long time.
Yeah, every last one of them, man.
Yeah.
They're just out there clicking on every cylinder. So yeah, they have something special going on over there. I don't know exactly how they're keeping the communications or whatever they got going on over there, but man, you spread a little bit of that juju over here, bro.
So like I mean, the Raptors game against the Cyclones, the 29th, is probably the first time that we're going to see them have some competition. Because I think they have Skyhawks, would have been Savages. So you're looking at, I mean, I don't know how many, what do they got? 5 more games? They have Mustangs. That's going to be so good. I think Mustangs Cyclones is going to be so good.
Yeah, I second that, man. Especially if all Mustangs are healthy, because Mustangs are going to be so hungry for that game. Like that, I feel as though that's what they're playing right now. Like every game that they're trying to play right now is a Cyclones game. That's kind of like their motive over there. So yeah, that's give you a good game. I mean, not for nothing. Yeah, it's the Mustangs and whatnot, but like Cyclones are still gonna pull it out. But it's gonna be one hell of a game.
Let me see. What were some of the other? Are you surprised by? Are you surprised by the Warriors? I feel like they're quiet. So like,
you think the Warriors are quiet? In what regard?
No. Like, do you think they're running their mouths too much?
It's not so much as like they're running their mouths.
Now, maybe I'm missing. Like, I don't jump in the players and coaches all the time. I'm not in the reel, so I don't know what happens there.
I mean, they're not tooting their own horn. Put it that way. They're not like hey yo, like they're just saying that we're here. That's all that they're saying. Like, hey, like all of their media and everything that everybody's saying. There's none of that rah-rahness going on. It's just they're letting everybody know that they're here. That's literally all that they're doing. But they're doing it all the time, bro. All the time.
But I feel like I feel like it used to be more rah-rah.
Yeah.
Than hey, we're just letting you know. Like I don't feel rubbed the wrong way as much as I have in the past.
Yeah,
I don't.
They're talking and they're playing with a purpose versus just going at it.
I don't care. I don't care how many points they can score. That game to win that game at the end of the thing with that throw, that quarterback looked very nice. It like you said, that whole thing, the entire aura around that team seems it seems legit. I guess I don't know what other word to use. It does seem like
there's not really anything else to say, bro. They're here for contention. They're here to play.
Yeah.
That's all that everybody over there saying. And like, best of luck. Keep on going the way you're going. Don't lose that edge, because once the Warriors lose that edge, they're gonna revert right back to day one, and we all know that they need that one major L, and it's gonna drive them crazy. I hope it doesn't. Really hope it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope that like they're able to grab that okay, whatever, that's an L. We're gonna keep on moving. But
all right, let me ask you this. I don't see this. This is not what I predict. But what if they handily lose to the Mustangs? Not by 50 or nothing, but like 3 touchdowns and it's really not a game. Like, I don't know, like that's something that because I think like I don't know. Like, I don't know if can that mentality, because I don't know those guys, but do they power through that, or does that just rattle the shit out of them?
What week is that? That's what I'm trying to look at right now.
This week. That's what I'm saying.
This week?
Yeah. So when their Warriors are going to the Mustangs, like
it's April 15th. My bad.
If that because we talked about the teams that if they lose, it's a big deal.
All right.
Maybe that's
the only thing that I could really say about the Warriors and Mustangs game, and I feel as though I should go watch this game with you. Honestly, I think I might come do that. All right. But this is game of the week right now. This is 1,000% game of the week. There's nothing else this week going on interesting. There's no other real type of dogfight going on. I like
Buffalo's Wildcats, but I think there's too much mystique around this game.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because they're both these teams are nothing but edge right now. They're nothing but edge. So it's going to take one person to word something the wrong way, and this could really go south.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, bro? These two teams are literally like oh man, this is gonna be such a good game. This is definitely game of the week. Warriors could start this day off running like hard and put the Mustangs in their head, or the Mustangs could come out and punch the Warriors in their mouth and score 2 on them real quick, and then the Warriors are gonna start falling apart over there, or they're both gonna come out rocking, and it's going to go down to the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left, and who's tired and who really wants it.
I mean, for the league, you want battle. You want both teams to score probably over 40, and you want it to come down to the end. I don't even care who wins, because if that happened, and we didn't see any like ridiculously over the top, not football shit. Like, I don't want anything to happen off the field. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, and I know it's
Right. Yeah.
there's history with maybe some whatever. I don't care about any of that, because I'm urging both to take the opportunity to every single player on those teams. Please don't be selfish, and just make sure it's about that game, because that could be a really good day. Like I said, I don't want nobody to get blown out by 20, but I think that could happen one way or the other, depending on how the day goes. But I do think the potential for a battle back and forth, not even necessarily, I don't think it's going to be a 60-60. I do think you're going to get good defensive play, 35, 40, 42, 38, stuff like that could be really fun.
If the Mustangs put in the right pieces for their offense, because their defense is solid. Their defense does not need to be touched. Their defense has to stay where it's at and keep them running on those cylinders. If the Mustangs put in the right people for their offense, and they should,
it comes down to the Mustangs defense and the Warriors offense. Like the Warriors.
Yeah,
offense,
bro. Honestly, that's gonna be the game right there.
I know, and I watching the Mustangs defense against the Vikings, to me, again,
in the rain too, bro. In the rain, it was crazy cold.
Right.
Like,
but people are like using that as a reason that it was so. I'm like, that's harder. Like, it's not that it's not harder to move the ball and score and throw the ball and all that stuff, but it's harder to be hyped and into that, playing the champs, especially when, oh my God, when you get what you get, and then that first, right from the jump, and then next play they fumble. Oh. Then inside the 5, 2 plays later they fumble.
Yeah.
Then you do it again at the 2. Then, you know what? Strip sack, fumble for a touchdown. And then you know what happened? They kept coming. So the fact that they kept coming, they didn't punch each other in the mouth, they didn't fight over that. Right. Jay could have wanted to leave, and all these things could have happened where the defense was like, no, screw you, this is stupid. They could have. None of that was even like a question, it seems. So right. I do think, and people think I'm crazy for acting like the Mustangs are the best defense in the league. I'm not saying they are, but I definitely believe that in 3 weeks they can look like it. I definitely think they can look like, because I'm telling you, if they hold, I don't care if they lose. If they hold the Warriors under 30, I think they're the best defense in the league. And that's it. That's assuming the Warriors play well.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like, I think the scoring is going to be pretty evenly matched.
I hope.
The only thing that the Mustangs are missing is a big target. Outside of that, though, they have all the other pieces to keep this game within reach and a fight the entire way.
And the offense is different than it was week 1.
Like the Warriors could potentially have a run for their money all day.
I think we can hope. Hold on. How can you say that? And they gave us 30. What? Jordan, I think I'm saying that I think that I think you're going to consistently see the Mustangs defense holding any team under 30, which would give,
I think they're going to play the Cyclones that way. I think they're going to play all the good teams that they play. I think they're going to keep the scoring low. They're going to make every offense work at it. I don't think they're going to give up big play after that. And that to me is what I'm looking at, I guess. So
who's George Keys playing for?
Wildcats.
I mean, your defense is the same as your offense. Like, you guys are well rounded, and I mean, there's not much that you guys are missing. You guys just have to click a little better. So
and I think the Wildcats and the Warriors are on the same level. Again,
the Warriors are definitely have a little bit more of an edge than the Wildcats do, 1,000%.
Yeah,
the Wildcats just have to show an edge, give an edge.
The Wildcats, if they're not going to win because they have like JR and Ewok, like all these guys. That's what you need to win a close game. That's what I did not think that they were going to lose to the Warriors. And I'm not saying I was more surprised, not that, and felt like the Wildcats didn't do well. I was more impressed with the Warriors' ability to stick it out, drive the field, make a play at the end. I thought that would have been the Wildcats, not the Warriors. That's all. You know what I mean? I think in my head, week 0, when I'm talking about it, when I'm looking at it, I know what JR brings to the table, and I knew what the pieces they had, and I felt like that could have been the situation where they were, and I still think they're on the same tier of, I think the Warriors and the Wildcats, these are the teams coming up. The Tomahawks are coming back up, and you might have the Comanche dipping, but again, all these teams, it's nice to have only 2 teams maybe that can't compete. That's what's crazy is right. Like you only have maybe 2 that are just
maybe
I think
3, bro.
Beat any other team. I think a bad day by the Cyclones and a good day by 80% of the league, they can beat them. And that's just promising in the sense of the talent's there. The football quality is there. I think we're working on some of the other stuff with film and all those things. But the football, man, you guys are all playing good, just good football. That's what's important.
Yeah. Aside from the the wonky sideline BS that's been going on, I mean, yeah, everybody's playing pretty well ball right now.
Yeah,
to give it to them.
Listen, so do you think you can do Saturday?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm supposed to have some get together thing or whatnot going with the Raptors. But this is a pretty big game, so yeah.
It's not like you can't. It's not like not a good moment to check on teams.
Yeah, honestly, right?
Yeah.
And then come Sunday, Monday. Well, Sunday I have a doubleheader in the XFL. But yeah, I mean, come Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
I told Dimitri I'm gonna get out to a Sunday.
Yeah,
I gotta get out. Yeah, dude. I really love what he does over there. I love that whole thing too. I really do.
Yeah, I was kind of there, like, I think year 3 as they were coming up, and I mean, it's that whole thing has blown up to something I don't think anybody thought it was gonna be,
right,
honestly. And I have to commend him myself.
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for him starting that league, I wouldn't be here today.
I think a lot of the aesthetics of what has happened, maybe just in terms of like how teams kind of carry themselves, I think that's all a part of it. I still think there's a huge opportunity for him. We've talked a little bit here, just in terms of like his promotion is huge, and it's just fun to more football and more opportunity is good in my eyes. So
yeah, I mean that flag league in and of itself brought a lot of players to the GFA, man. Like again, like it was just he had started with the Diamondbacks, and he was just pushing both of them, man.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
I think that
go
there's
him.
a chance in the future for us to still kind of sort of all work together. But yeah, I might get out to a Sunday. I'll definitely look forward to Saturday too. Yeah, man, going into this last week, let me ask you one more thing before we go. You got a new opportunity with the Raptors. Obviously, you're kind of intertwined with the league with other things that you're doing. Is there anything? What do you hope to see coming into the end of this season, into next year? What takeaway from all the things that we talked about today and the last couple of weeks, and all we want to build on? What do you want to see the league? What's something you just want to see happen or change or keep going? You know.
I mean, I would love to see the league be the outdoor arena league that it should and that it's trying to be. I feel as though they just need a little bit more advertising, a little bit more promotion. But outside of that, I mean, this league could really go up. Like we can set ourselves apart from a lot of other organizations and whatnot that are out there, because we're kind of doing something that not everybody's doing. We're outside in an arena shaped field.
Yeah,
that's huge, bro. Like GFA could very easily become nationwide.
I agree.
It's just the fact of outreach. The outreach needs to be a little better, and that's what I want to see in the long run. I want to see them be a broadcast outside arena league. That would be intense, and it could happen, bro.
I agree with you, and I think, like I said, I look forward to everybody tune in on Mondays for Inside the GFA. You got 4th and 20 on Wednesdays. You have this. I'm going to try to stay consistent on a Thursday night.
I'm gonna push you for that shit now, bro. I'm here.
On, bro. That's what I want every time. That'll be, mark my words, with me and you. That'd be great. And in the future, I'm gonna start dropping. I'll be doing an interview with Tyler Dieter. Probably in the next. I'm hoping to have it out by Saturday morning. Maybe. But I'm gonna start doing some recorded interviews and releasing those throughout the week as I do them. It's just tough to have those on a live sometimes, and but maybe sometimes we bring guys on and get into it more. I am the first to say that I want to be a part of all of this happening. I have no concept of how to be better yet and how to get better with. I'm still working on streaming and I'm still working on all that, but I do think that like with you, there's so many guys in this league that have so many skills and talents, and I bet you are doing shit that they just might. So anybody out there that we can promote, anybody's business that they're doing their own business, anything like that. I want sponsors for my show, not for money, but just because I want to push whoever's out there and needs stuff to push. And so anybody out there that's watching, I appreciate you. Jaquan, I appreciate you very much, brother. You and I have talked just even about the uniforms and everything else, what you're doing, just kind of living your life and doing your thing that you love. And we all have to remember how crazy this stuff can be and the world can be. And we pay money to play football, which is absurd to think about. But at the end of the day, man, think about all the things we pay money to do. And it's a passion and a love. And the GFA can, like you said, I do think they can really harness all that energy into a positive thing and continue to grow.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what the missing link is, but they're just missing one link. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is, but they're missing one little thing to just put them on that travel path.
I think we
have to continually put out content. I think but getting the games streamed, getting the games broadcasted and announced, and those, I'm not even so much worried about live. If all the games from Saturday drop Sunday, I think that would be okay. If you could stagger the games and like drop them at certain every 2-hour spots on a Sunday, and you can do some stuff. So I think that you need better quality, you need good film, you need all that stuff. I know that's all tough but I do think we could get there. But everybody has to help each other. I believe that.
If I feel as though if there was a way that on game days we could have every game streamed live on like YouTube or Facebook or whatever, that would definitely promote a lot more. That would definitely be a huge stage for audiences and whatnot. That live stream, man, yeah.
Especially if we have live stream and quality, that's just. And you obviously want it up in the booth. You want to see the field. You want a good view. You want commentating. But you start with let's get it live. If we had one representative every week, we're making sure that we were streaming. And it's really, I know it's I can't even figure it out sometimes. It messes me up, but I do think we're close.
I feel as though, I mean, within the next 2 years, if they just started working at just the whole fact of commentating in the video while the game is going on, and then upload that the next day until they can figure out the whole live stream, that's a whole another like aspect of it, because you're not just sitting here watching a film on mute. You have the commentators be like, and 31
all right, well, listen,
just broke for a crazy run or whatever the case is,
This is something that I've just, again, it's a work in progress, but my idea and my goal every week is to get there early, set up a table, and chat with guys ahead of time, pregame, do some. I don't necessarily think that you need live video of that, but we can do live. I don't care, live interviews, but I think you can record those interviews and drop them at the end.
Or even during.
Yeah. Right.
Like as of right now, just record them like before and during the game, and just like upload that like into the G4 thing. This is what we're doing right now.
And so maybe, I mean, if you're down, I'm down with, being a trial run. If we can get I don't know what this field looks like in drums. Do you know their drums field?
No.
So that's whatever their other home field is.
Yeah. No, I do know what it looks like actually. Yeah.
Is there like stands or like?
Yeah, there are, but they're low. They're low stands.
Okay. Well, if I can get something a little height so I'm over heads, and I'll commentate. I am the first to say that I think I am terrible. You give me a roster, that's a different story. If you do not give me a roster, I have no effing idea. I forget what I'm doing. I'm just start watching. So, but I'll try. I'll try it. If we can, I'll print rosters off the league site or whatever too. I can do that, but I will try to do a commentator of the game. That would be a fun game to do.
Yeah, this game would be a real good game to do, bro.
Well, like I said, I'm down. I'll bring a table. I'll bring the stuff to record. I'll bring the stuff to do the things, the interviews, the mics and stuff like that. I'll bring chargers and stuff like that too. Hopefully there's somewhere where you can charge some stuff.
Yeah, they have like an outhouse thing there.
All right. Huge. I just wanted one more thing to everybody out there listening and watching. I hope you were all healthy. I don't pay attention. I didn't see a lot of big injuries. I hope nothing bad happened to you guys. To all the guys working hard, the coaches, the owners, keep it up. This year is looking good. Week 4 is coming. I do think it's going to be an exciting couple weeks coming. I think by week 7, we're going to have a really, really good indication of what the seeding is going to look like. But not only that, who's going to be able to to battle. If we have 8 solid teams at the end of it all that we look at and go, man, any of these teams could be anything. That's just, I'm salivating thinking about that. So I'm looking forward to the whole thing, and I
Yo,
really do. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, before we get off of here, week 7, May 13th, the Mustangs are playing the Nightmare.
Yeah, I think that's a misprint. I don't think the Cyclones are listed in that week, are they? Look at that week. I didn't see this.
No, okay, there we go. That makes
But
sense.
but they play the Mustangs the week before that. So I don't know what the discrepancy. Something's wrong on this week. I don't know what's not correct. Because don't the Cyclones, isn't there buys? Like when did the Cyclones have their bye? Because they played week 0, right?
Yeah, play week 0.
So both Cyclones, Skyhawks, and Wildcats should have a bye. So I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
We'll see.
It doesn't even unless the Cyclones Warriors. Nah, bro. I don't think anybody has a bye. Honestly, it doesn't look like it.
And we'll have to look at the league. We'll check on the schedule for you guys. We will be so you guys heard it here. We'll be at the Hazleton Mustangs game in Drums on Saturday at 1 p.m. Warriors Mustangs. I'd say game of the week.
Definitely game of the week. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be there with you, man. And yeah, it's same as you said. For all the players, stay hungry, stay healthy, get out there, get after it, get into your group chats. Make sure you guys know what your assignments are and what you're doing going into this week and every other week. As for the coaches and the staffs for all these teams, I personally thank you, because without you guys, it would be very difficult for us to just run out there and do what we want to do. So thank you guys for volunteering your time and help and aiding us. Yeah, let's get this season going, bro. Let's finish out. Let's finish out strong.
Absolutely. All right, man. Everybody, enjoy week 4, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. Thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, you got it. Anytime.